One other thing I'm going to quickly do, I should have done this earlier, these Marines here. So I'm renaming all the divisions that I gave medals to. I should have done this as I was giving the medals. Make it easier on myself, but I forgot to do that. But yeah, I'm going to rename all the divisions I gave medals to, so that later on I can use them as like elite units and like gather them as my attacking force, instead of having them scattered around my front line randomly. Like 91, you can tell right away that this one I didn't give a medal to, because, you know, I have these divisions here that have 100 orc. So this one we've clearly given a medal to. So let's rename this one. Okay, that should do it. So later on in the game, now that I've renamed these I'm going to turn into, because they're going to have more orc than normal. So I'm going to turn all these guys into my marine divisions and use them to push. The point of this division here is to just get more battalions in the field so that I can get more special forces cap. Like right now, I can't convert any of these divisions. Like ideally, all these divisions that I just renamed here, I would convert into Marines and a special type of Marines that gets like equipment before normal Marines do. But I can't actually do the conversion because when I made my Marines last time, I exceeded my special forces cap. So I need to train these guys. We'll keep 50k. So these guys aren't going to go in the front line or anything, they're just going to sit around. And I'll probably even delete them at some point to refund manpower. We'll actually have some breakthrough on these units now, finally. Which one of these two is better for attacking? Actually, this guy might be better. He's got the damage reduction against Cass. Have the same defense, better supply consumption, but no terrain penalty reduction. Now this guy's actually better. If I get Fortress Buster now, that gives me the ability to get this, plus 20% artillery attack. And these marine divisions are 12% artillery. So it's 20% of 12. It's like a 2.5 bonus, 2.5% boost. You know, I think I'm going to do it. And then Officer Corps rolls this. And replace this guy. Let's start pushing. We got max stats. Yeah. Okay, I think we'll take this tile, we'll encircle this tile, then we'll encircle this tile, and then this one, and push up to this river here, and come up north to do this strategy with our fleet. Try and block this strait, take here, take the port. Damn, I have a switch to this guy now. Okay, we're taking here and here next. We're gonna push for Frankfurt and then north. $56 more days. I might as well trade them out for these, because we are eventually gonna need to get more units. Oh, he's got spies here now. That's annoying. So we'll probably hit here, here, and then here to try and circle this. Alright, we're going to try switching to this template here. Way more soft attack. And while this reduces special forces by 20%, now it increases artillery by like 10%. Boosts artillery by 12%. And it's just a way higher base soft. So it cuts down slightly on country. Country bonus is 10% less. Commander skill is slightly less. Terrain is marginally less as well. I'm not convinced yet that this is a better unit. HP is less, org is less, supply use is way up. Yeah, these Marines just really kind of suck. But we tried it. We're taking like 10 times the losses that we normally take. Yeah, we're just not going to use those anymore. Do this one instead. Crazy how supply issues just melt away as soon as you get rid of all those useless artillery. I'm gonna try and encircle these 2 tiles next. Oh nice, this guy's not injured anymore. Just gonna wait for them to calm down again before we continue the attack. Yeah, and the reason, in case I haven't explained it yet, the reason why I'm doing this, like, these are identical templates, right? There's 2 reasons. The first is that these are elites, so they get equipment first, but the main reason is that these are just visual aids so that I know which one of these divisions have been awarded medals. And those are the ones I want to push with. So that's so much extra work. All the way up to 104 now. I'm just clicking random countries right now. I got another plan here that I think we're gonna try. 3-step plan to pretty much win the game on the spot. We'll take back all of Germany, knock out the Low Countries, prepare the invasion of France, encircle like 1,000,000 troops, and link up with Austria kind of all at once. So the plan is, we're going to start by advancing into the Low Countries here, into Netherlands and Belgium, and we're going to knock them out of the war, but we're not going to advance into France yet. We're going to kind of stop on this border here, take out Luxembourg. We'll push into Alsace-Lorraine here. So we'll take this section here and make it to the Swiss border, but we're not going to advance any further yet. Then from here, once we've taken these supply hubs, we're going to cross over into Germany here. We'll take this and take this tile right here. And once we take this tile here and we have the rest of this secured, units here in Stuttgart, Ulm, and pretty much all the units on this front line here and along Austria's front line can't get out anymore because there's just a little bit of a lake right here. So like these Swiss units won't be able to cross because they can't get through the Austrian border, they can't cross the lake, and if we take this tile, they won't be able to get through here either. So the only way units in here would ever be able to get out into France would be if they come all the way around here through Italy. But anyway, that's kind of the first 2 steps of the plan. Knock out the Low Countries, take Alsace-Lorraine, push and take this tile. Then we redeploy our units over to the east here by Dresden. From Dresden, we are going to push to Breslau. Take that supply hub, move south to here and the Austrian border. That will basically trap all of this into a pocket. And there's a lot of divisions in there. Pretty much, yeah, all of Czechoslovakia, all of southern Germany basically get wiped out. And then I'll actually have a source of aluminum and can actually start making some real planes. None of these, these trashy planes I've been building this whole time. And once we've got all that done, then we invade France, take them out, potentially. I'm actually not sure which direction I'll go at that point, but I will decide once we've completed this plan here, assuming it works. Move this fleet over here so I can repair quickly. Oh, 16 subs, nice. I think I might try to attack across the strait here, take this port, and then cross this river and take Rotterdam. Just to encircle all these units here. I think my Marines should be strong enough to do that. service by requirement. Yeah, right now I'm trying to get enough of these units to actually be able to remove all of these Marines from, these random locations on the front line. I want to be able to concentrate them all. If you haven't noticed already, I'm doing a lot of unit switching in this campaign, switching units between generals. Most of the time, it's so that when I'm closing a pocket, my weakest general can get all the XP from it and level up. But that's not always the reason. The colors of my units actually mean something here. Yellow units can use the makeshift bridges ability, allowing them to get terrain bonuses when attacking across a river, while white units have the Fortress Buster ability, giving them bonuses against forts. I run into part of the Maginot line here, so I'm switching units around to get the ability to go through those level 10 forts and then back again to get across the river. Here I'm making a reserve infantry unit so that while it's training it doesn't burn through any of my good equipment, and I'm going to convert all the new divisions I've been training into it. Eventually, I'll convert them all to my standard infantry template without equipment restrictions and put them on the front. This pocket technically isn't encircled yet because Luxembourg is a capital supply hub, so I need to take it out first to truly turn this into a pocket. It may not look like it, but more than a month passed between that last clip and this one. That's also why all my game settings have changed. It took me a little bit to remember my 3-step plan, and I end up altering it a little. Instead of occupying the Maginot Line like I originally planned, I push a bit further west instead, creating a wider encirclement. It turns out to be a pretty good call because they left themselves completely open here. I pretty much just walk straight to the lake I've been aiming for unopposed. Now that I've secured the path to the lake, I try to make it so that I've got 2 Marines per tile so that I can hold it. My regular line infantry are a little bit too weak for me to rely on for a task as important as this one, so I've got to use better units. And now comes the great unit redeployment. My end goal is to get all my elite Marines over to the east by Dresden for the final push to Breslau and the Austrian border. To do that, however, I need to replace my elite Marines with my regular Marines, but I don't have enough spare Marines to do that yet. That's why I've been training all these extra units though. I'm going to deploy them everywhere I see a regular Marine division so that I can rotate them out. My new infantry units will allow me to pull my regular Marines off the line and collect them. And then I can take those freed up Marines and do the exact same thing again with my elite Marines. Deploy the regular Marines everywhere I see an elite Marine so that they can be rotated out and collected and then sent east. So that's what I'm doing here. Deploy the new units, pull out the regular Marines, redeploy those regular Marines, pull out the elite Marines, and then send those Marines east to Dresden. Well, gotta deal with a quick naval invasion first, and then send them east to Dresden. can't get planning bonus here due to all the enemy spies, so as soon as they reorg, we'll immediately launch the final phase of this plan. We're following the railroad so that when we get to Breslau, we'll actually have some supply. At least that's what the plan was. I was going to wait here for supply, but for some reason the game seems to think I control both sides of this river here when I clearly don't. But that means I don't need to wait for supply after all, I can just keep snaking. And there we go. Accidentally evacuated that supply hub there, but with some quick retreats I can get a unit there in time to defend it. But there we have it. The pocket has been formed. It's not technically cut off from supply yet though, because Prague, the Czechoslovakian capital, is in the pocket too, so all these trapped units still have supply at the moment. That is the next target though, Prague. Once we push there, all these units will officially be encircled. I actually spent the time here to count up all the divisions in this pocket, and I counted 624 of them. If I were to take a guess, I'd say that equates to about 5, maybe 5.5 million men. I don't know that for sure though, because I end up closing this pocket one piece at a time rather than all at once, so I have no way to count it properly. But I have another video on my channel where I close a 502 division encirclement, and that one had 4.6 million manpower in it, so 5.5 million should be in the right ballpark for this one. I free up some units, shut off allied supply so that Austria doesn't get any ideas, and start pushing to Prague. We are at 65.65 million casualties before we start closing this pocket. That Finnish naval invasion right there is actually a lot more significant than it looks. Every now and then, the bot in this game does something truly impressive, and this is one of those times. See if you can spot what happens, because I completely missed it during the game and it caused me a massive headache. It's visible on the screen right now, by the way. If you can't see it, then you're in good company. I'm just mindlessly pushing to Prague, oblivious, and the problem just keeps on growing. If it grows too big, I'm going to lose the game. There, I've paused the gameplay and put a big red arrow on the problem. I didn't see that. That earlier naval invasion, as it turned out, was actually 2 naval invasions, launched at the exact same moment so that only one naval invasion alert played. All of this time, the bot has been naval invading the same exact port in Denmark over and over again, so that was the only port I stationed permanent defenders at. My plan for if they landed somewhere else was to just let them land and destroy the units that did. But the fact that both naval invasions happened simultaneously out of sight of each other meant I missed the one in the north. And that invasion is just going to keep expanding until I notice it, which is looking pretty unlikely right now due to how much I'm tunnel visioning in the south. This campaign is being played in Iron Man mode too, by the way, so the game literally depends on how long it takes for me to notice. And there, finally, I eventually spot the skull icon on the side of the screen and click it, and I see this. It could have been worse, I suppose, but this is definitely not something I want to see right now. No other naval invasion sound played, and that's one of my biggest gripes about this game. Sometimes the alert just doesn't play, and you get stuck in situations like these where the bot establishes a massive foothold, not because of a lack of skill on your part, but because the game just doesn't tell you about it. Someone needs to make a mod in this game where you can drop a special unit down on a tile or something, and one of those giant newspaper alerts shows up if that unit is attacked. Would really help avoid situations like these. I really try to break those 3 trap units out, but I just can't get my good units up here fast enough. The only thing I can do is last stand them, and I even put my fleet next to them for some shore bombardment. Unfortunately, it's just not enough to survive against the bot's ability to ignore the rules and cheat, and ignore the last stand ability outright. I still have no idea why those units died there. Last stand was active on all 3 of those units, and I was ready to switch those units out to a new general to activate last stand again when the timer ran out. There also wasn't any CAS in the battle, so I have no idea why they lost Org. But they died anyway with plenty of time left on the ability and plenty of leftover HP. Well, there's 75,000 men down the drain, I guess. My first significant mistake of the campaign, or the first brilliant move by the bot. It took advantage of my complacency and figured out a way to not alert me of its naval invasion. And then they do this. Another naval invasion right as my counterattack gets going. But you know, as annoying as it was at the time, this was brilliantly executed and the bot deserves some props for it. As hard of a time as I usually give it, it almost felt like a human did this. Launching a completely suicidal naval invasion that won't work, but that is annoying to deal with, and then just trying to snake with whatever unit manages to land, all as a big distraction. Gotta do a quick check down south now to make sure nothing crazy is happening. We're going for the ports next. We've got to avenge those 3 lost units now, and we'll do it by ensuring that not a single one of these enemy divisions escapes. Now that we have the canal back, I slip the fleet through it and park it there to block off all those straits. And yes, I saw that naval invasion. I've got enough units down there to contain it once they land, though. Since our ships are in the way, these units are actually stuck and get destroyed. With that mess now cleared up, I actually let them take Copenhagen again, hoping they'll send all those divisions into it so I can use my old strategy again to destroy them all. But only some of the units take the bait. Eventually, I decide that if they're not going to come here, I'll just go there, so I cross into Sweden and destroy those units myself. I probably could have done that a few more times too, but I really just wanted to deal with the pocket in the south first, so I sent everything back down there. They've suffered some pretty heavy attrition while we were focused up north. Anyway, it's time to close this pocket now. We're going to do it one small piece at a time. We were at 65.65 million when we started closing the pocket. We've inflicted another 10 million casualties since then just in that northern naval invasion and their constant battle plans into my lines. These lime green units belong to the next general I'm trying to level up, so we're going to try to finish off all the pockets with them. These two units down here are getting pretty low on org, so I'm deciding now whether or not I want to last stand them while I wait for reinforcements to arrive. I eventually decide that I have to, as reinforcements will take a bit too long and I really don't want these trapped units to get out. Have to use Fortress Buster again here to get through what's left of the Maginot. And there we have it. Pocket has been closed. Next up, we aggressively expand in all directions. It's crazy that they still have so many units left on the front line.